Hi, I'm Nicole from Baby to Sleep, and today I'm going to answer the question for you as to whether or not baby sleep is purely developmental. So, if like me, you had a baby that thought sleep was something that only other babies did, you've probably heard everything from everybody else, all the advice from everybody else, and it most likely contradicted everything. Okay, so you'll have had one side over here saying you've got to sleep train, you've got to teach them to be able to fall asleep without you, you've got to let them self-soothe, they've got to figure it out, otherwise you're going to have a rod for your own back. Then you'll have had the other side saying, oh, I know it's so hard, isn't it? I know my little one wakes up as well, but it's purely developmental. It'll all sort itself out. It's just a phase. It's fine. You can't do anything because it'll damage them. And you sit there in the middle going, well, what am I supposed to do? You're telling me it's developmental. You're telling me that my baby will just sleep when they want to sleep. My kid didn't get that memo. She's not going to sleep. Okay, you're telling me just to do sleep training and do control crying or just leave her to cry, but she can outcry everybody. What am I going to do? And you sit there in the middle thinking, I'm lost. I'm genuinely lost. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Is it developmental and she will just figure it out? Or do I really need to go down this route where I make myself feel physically sick at listening to my little one cry for hours and hours and hours while I'm out the room crying as well? What's the answer? Honestly, neither of them are right. Neither of them. So, sleep is developmental. However, we play our role as parents. So, I'm going to show you something. These are my two girls. We have Sophia, she's 5. This is my eldest, okay? She is the reason I do what I do. She is the one that didn't get the memo about sleep. She's the one that would be up for hours and hours and hours in the night. She would scream, she would cry, happiest little girl going, but when it came to sleep, it was just something that just didn't happen, and it wasn't a phase. It was right from the beginning, and even now at 5 I have to still be very much on it, and I'm constantly learning because she just has general difficulties with sleep, okay? And she likes to get up early and she likes to test the boundaries and things like that, okay? So if I'd have gone down the route of thinking this was purely developmental and doing nothing, I wouldn't be married now. We wouldn't have Alicia. I'd be very poorly because my health would have suffered, and I would have had a very unhappy baby because she would have just been absolutely beyond exhausted. So yeah, that wasn't purely developmental. However, this is Alicia. She's 15 months now. This is a younger picture. Now, this little girl, hers is developmental, purely, okay? She doesn't sleep through the night. She's 15 months, but I've done nothing to try and get her to sleep through the night because she's a thumb sucker, whereas Sophia didn't have anything like that. She had a dummy, but Alicia, she has her thumb, so she finds her own way. She's never fell asleep really on me. She's never fed to sleep. She's always had her own thing. Every single time there is a point where you would hit what people call a regression, which is really a huge big development, she's gone through it exactly as they would normally do it. So all the things that I've learned about, she is bang on cue. So we're coming up to sort of 4 months and sleep takes a back step. And I'm going, wow, okay, this is really tough because I've got used to what I'd got used to, and now suddenly we're going through a bad patch, but I know what I need to do to get through it, and I'm accepting of this is a phase. This is developmental, and we got through that. And every single time we've gone through them, every single time there's a tooth, I've known it's a tooth. I've not blamed teething on anything. unless I actually knew it was a tooth and you could tell it was a tooth. If there's been illness, all these things I've been able to go, something's not right with the sleep, the sleep's gone bad. What am I expecting? And as that has happened, a cold has struck, a tooth has come through, whatever it is, something has happened that has made that sleep go backwards. Or she's decided that she's going from sitting to standing to walking around to cruising, crawling, all these types of things. And when these big developments happen, sleep takes a back foot. But then it's been a case of, it's easy enough to get back on track with because I know what I'm doing, because this little girl puts herself to sleep, no problem. She doesn't need me. She doesn't cry out for me. She will occasionally, and I'll go to her, obviously, because she cries out for me, so I'll go to her. But hers is absolutely developmental. I've not had to do anything in the regards to even an extreme gentle sleep training because I haven't needed to. She hasn't needed that. So this is why I say you've got two different extremes. She is Alicia, purely developmental. This one, Sophia, yes, okay, there was a developmental element to it, but if I'd have just left it going down the developmental route, it just wouldn't have happened because it was not coming. The sleep wasn't going to happen. There had to be changes. This was on my part as a parent to make sure that she was given the opportunities to sleep. Because these are the bits here where it's okay saying it's developmental and she'll sleep when she wants to sleep. But if I don't give her the opportunity to go to sleep at the times when she's ready to go to sleep, well, that's not going to help anybody, is it? That's not a developmental thing. That's me missing the boat. That's me as the parent not getting it right. So I can't expect her sleep to get better if I'm not doing the right things. So yes, there is an element of developmental, but we've got to have all the bits together. Have the naps in a good place, have a good bedtime routine in place, have the nights in a good place in the sense of we know what we're going to do. These are all things that really, really can help. And knowing what's going to happen, where these developments kick in, knowing how teething actually affects sleep. That's something I'm going to be doing at some point soon as well. I'll be doing videos on teething. I'll be doing videos on weaning as well when it comes to sleep. I'll do night weaning. We've got all sorts of different videos that we're going to talk about as well. So lots of different topics to cover. But yeah, so this is just a little bit for now. So nobody's right. It's not purely developmental and it's not rod for your own back. You've got to leave them to cry on their own. It's neither of them things. Neither of these people are right. Neither of them are wrong. There is an element where it is developmental, but as parents, we need to actually help and support them to find that way. And it's just combining the two. Okay. I hope that makes you feel a bit better about any of the choices that you have made or that you are contemplating making. Okay. This is really important because at the end of the day, this is your baby, okay? You can't feel that you're in a place where, you're lost. You need to be able to say, I am the parent and I know how I can help you, okay? And understanding that. Have a look at the online plans if you're struggling. Make sure you've signed up to the newsletter so you can download the free ebook. Make sure you go over to the Baby to Sleep Village where we've got a nice growing community of parents that are struggling with sleep or have struggled with sleep in the past. And everybody supports each other. Okay, so head on over and I'll see you in the village, or go on over to the website babytosleep.co.uk and have a look at some of the blogs. Thanks. See you later. Bye.